Just like you selected this video to be watched, the CSS selectors select the elements on your page to be styled. Welcome back, friends. So whenever we start working on CSS, one thing we absolutely need to understand, that is selectors. Think of selectors as the way we point to elements in HTML and say, okay, this is what I want to style. Before colors, layouts, or anything else, selectors are where everything starts. So let us start this video by creating a folder, and here inside this folder I will create index.html, style.css. Let us start from the boilerplate code. If you do not know about this, how to create this boilerplate and about the image in general, just go and watch my short video on this. You will save a lot of time. So the first thing we need to do is to link our CSS file to the HTML. So we will do link colon CSS. This is the image abbreviation to link our CSS file to our HTML. So that is what we did. Now let us jump inside our style.css file. Now the simplest one is the Universal Selector. It is just an asterisk and it selects everything on the page, literally every element. Most of the time we use it at the beginning to reset things like margin, padding, and anything else, so we are not fighting with the default browser styles. So we will do margin is 0 and padding is also 0. Next selector would be the element selector. So the first element we have which can be selected for styling is the body element. So we are going to style the same. Background color is black, color which we can keep as white. So we reversed the browser defaults here. Let us jump inside our HTML file and open this with live server. So here is what we have: CSS selectors without any margin or padding, and the background color and color are also applied. So the next selector is the ID selector. If we want to select this element, we will type hash symbol and then subscribe, and then maybe color is yellow. So here when you see, it is properly styled. So for now we are not learning how to apply these colors and all these things. We will learn it in detail. For now, this time we are learning about the selectors, so that is why I am applying these simple styles. So let us jump into the next thing, which is class selector. Here we will type card and then apply some background color. And if we see, and this is our card, we can apply some width, padding, and this is our card. So the next selector we have is if we want to group multiple selectors. For example, I want to style h1 and paragraph at the same time. So I would do it with the comma. Maybe I want to underline. So you can see both heading and this is underlined. The next thing we have is the CSS nesting. For example, you saw this card. This card has one text inside it, and then we may have a paragraph of text. Here is our card. For example, we want to remove this underline. So we can go inside our card. Now we have this styling for the card and type h2. Then just like we grouped other things here, we can do it here as well. For example, paragraph, and then type text decoration none. And this is how the nesting works. Every style related to card we can type inside this. And then if we have maybe any other div here, any other things here, we can style them as well, and that will not affect the external things. For example, here we styled h2 and p. The paragraph has a text decoration none, which means underline should not be there. But here you can see this paragraph has underline. The next thing we have the element with class name. For example, here we did .card, but what we could do is div.card. It selects the div with class card, so that if there is any other element with the same class, because classes can be reused, there cannot be multiple elements with the same ID in the single page, but there can be multiple elements with the same classes. So we sometimes use this convention. So the next thing we have is the attribute selector. For example, we have input, type text, and required. And if we go inside our CSS and type input with required attribute should have the color of red. Then if we go inside our browser, whatever we type, it has red color. And similarly, for example, if we have another with pattern, that attribute, for example, we want it to be green. So that is how we use the attribute selector. The next thing we have is the nth-child. For that, I am again going to use emit. I will type ul and we will have list items, maybe 5 items. Then inside that item and maybe this and tab. Okay, this is item 1 2 3 4 5. So I will type ul, then inside that we have li, and for that I want the nth child. For example, I am choosing the second child to have, or maybe every second child that I can type as even. And then I want those to have color of something different than what we have by default, that is white. And you can see we have that different color setup for here. To end this session, we have the pseudo class. For example, whenever we hover on card, if we hover on the paragraph inside this, I want the styles to be color changes, something like this. And whenever I go inside this, you can see whenever I hover on it, it changes its color. Just to recap, we have the universal selector to select the every element from our page. Then we have select by element name, which select us using the tag name. Then we have the ID selector, which select us with the specific ID. Then we have the class selector, it selects us the specific element with that class name. Then we have the CSS nesting, so it is used if we want to group some styling. After that, we have grouping of elements, so that is this one. We separate them by commas, whatever elements we have. And after that, we have attribute selector. We use this attribute inside the square bracket and then apply any of our CSS here. And then we have the nth child selector. So that is what we had inside this, and at the end we saw pseudo class selector. So for example, hover, and we have others such as active and focus as well. We will see them in our upcoming sessions. So that is it for this one. See you in the next one.